Hello friends, welcome to Sayyid Learn All-in-One classes. So from today onwards, we're starting a very important subject, that is organ of electrohomeopathy. So in this subject, we are uh, going to study about all the basic fundamentals of electrohomeopathy. Okay, what are the principles, what are the basic laws of electrohomeopathy, how it discovered, okay, and what are the basic medicines remedies which are invented by our doctor Count Caesar Matchi, and what are the temperament, how we have to select the remedies, single remedy or combinational remedy. Hmm? Okay, how can we approach to the patient? So many things we will study in this uh, subject. So today is the introduction part. So in introduction part, we can learn some important things related to this subject. Okay, so let's start. So basically, the electrohomeopathy, the entirely new medical science, was discovered by Dr. Count Caesarmati of Bologna city of Italy in 1865. So we all of know that the electrohomeopathy is a fifth medical science after modern medicine, that is called allopathy, Ayurvedic, Unanipathy, or homeopathy, and fifth path is electrohomeopathy. Some doctors also call it as spigeric pathy. What is that? Spigeric pathy or spigeric therapy. Okay, so basically, the electrohomeopathy is an entirely new system or new science for the entire world after 19th century. Okay, before 19th century, they didn't know about the uh, electrohomeopathy. Okay, they only know homeopathy, Unani, Ayurvedic, or allopathy. Okay, so it takes lots of efforts, it takes lots of research, it takes lot of time to discover a pathy. Okay, so they took more time, more uh, research, it took more efforts, more of lots of hard work to gain the entire pathy, which will have all types of treatment for all diseases. They have all types of information regarding everything related to the health. Okay, so then only the nervous system will approach to the every part of the world. Okay, so who invented? Dr. Count Caesar Matti invented. In which city? In Bologna city, which is where the city is situated. It is situated in Italy. So it discovered in 1865. Okay, we have to remember the name of the doctor. We have named the city. We have the name of the uh, country as well as year. So Dr. C.C. Matt was the follower of Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. So he is the follower of Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. Who is the Samuel Hahnemann? The discoverer of homeopathy. Okay, while going through the research of Hahnemann, Dr. Matty found certain defects in homeopathy. So how the new system discovered? So actually, he studied the homeopathy. He is practicing in homeopathy. He also follower of homeopathic, Dr. Hahnemann. But he noticed some side of defects in the homeopathy. So those defects led him discovered the new pathy called electrohomeopathy. So what are those defects? Okay, first we will see the Dr. Count Caesar Matti, Dr. Hahnemann, and the map. So friends, here we have Dr. Count Caesar Matti, who is born in 11th January 1809 and expired on 3rd April 1896, and he is the father of electrohomeopathy. So he born in Italy in Bologna city. Okay. Uh, Here we have Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, who is the founder of homeopathy. So he's discovered homeopathy in 1796. Okay. So what are the defects which is noticed by our Dr. Count Caesar Matti? Okay. So here is the list we will study. The medicines had been tested upon healthy organisms, but the diseased organisms are more sensitive than healthy ones. So it is not at present situation which are explained in this defects. It is the situation when Count Caesar Matti he noticed in his time period. Okay, so whatever the homeopath experiment, they will test upon the healthy person. So if the symptoms arises, so they notice that this type of medicine will work on this patient. So based upon this theory, they experimented. So what will happen if the person is healthy? Okay, so he will get most amount of chances he will become unhealthy. Okay, and the drug which are used or the remedy or the medicine which are used will produce effect, and it will alter the system of healthy person. So this is the first defect which is noticed by our Dr. Count Caesar Matti. And the second defect, homeopathy does not work for the disease. A homeopathy deals with and seek to remove the symptoms only. So what is the second defect? It is only work on symptoms, not it will completely reduce the disease, not completely cure the disease. It will only reduce the symptoms. Matty felt that the object which the physician should be set before him should be not simply to remove the painful symptoms only, but to attack the cause of the disease. So whatever he thought that Dr. Count Caesar Matty thought that he have to work on not only symptoms, but he have to remove the cause of the disease also. So it is the second point which is observed by the Dr. Count Caesar Matti. So what are other things he observed? Other than all this, we allow with Hahnemann that a single remedy is capable for removing all the symptoms. So Hahnemann think that only single remedy have the potential, have the force, have the energy which will work to relieve the symptoms of all the symptoms what are the associated with the disease. He have the uh, means he thinks that single remedy can work for all types of symptoms. But what Count Caesar Matti said? But the C.C. Matti affirmed that the complex remedies which constitute the EH Materia Medica combat and destroy disease in its primary origin. So with the EH method of treatment, no relapse need be feared, no return in altered form is possible. So what Count Caesar thinks after the discovery of electrohomeopathy? So he discovered that electrohomeopathy have the origin that it will destroy the disease, okay, due to the method of treatment of electrohomeopathy. It will no need to worry about the disease, and there is a rare chances of regain or altered of the disease. Okay, the EH medicines have efficient healing force. Why this is happening? The EH medicines have healing force. They destroy the very germ of disease, okay, in the organism. Okay, whatever the disease or germ present in the organism, it will destroy. Okay, and also purify the vital fluids. What are the vital fluids? Uh, Lymph and blood, okay, in which they circulate and grow. Okay, it is in CC Matty's view. So whatever he thinks, Dr. CC Matty, okay, here explained. Okay, next. The combined action of several remedies is required to cure a disease, which consists of a great number of symptoms due to disorder of the blood as well as the lymph. Here coming the principle of the electrohomeopathy. The electrohomeopathy purely depend upon blood and lymph. Okay, so here that the combined action of several remedies is required to cure a disease. So if a person having disease, he needs combined remedies. Here is the formula given by the Dr. Count Caesar Matty opposite to the single remedy. Simon remedy worked in homeopathy, but in electrohomeopathy, he discovered that no single remedy will work on disease. The person need combined remedy. Why? Here is the question answer. ES system is endowed to put within reach of the discovered blood and lymph the substance most fitted to the cure them and rescue each special organ from the hostile forces which prevent the free exercise of its function without being violent to it. So the basic principle to relieve the disease, we have to purify the lymph and blood because the every vital organ needs them, so there are the high chances of reaching of disease through this vital fluid to those organs. So if you want to remove the disease, you have the capacity, you have to work those remedies on lymph and blood. Then what will happen? Then will it freely removes the unhealthy substances from the blood and the lymph. EH medicine in their complexity cover not simply the majority of the symptoms but totally of them. So as if they work on blood and lymph, it will totally cure the disease from the body. Okay, not only the symptoms. Okay, so it is advised by our Dr. Count Caesar Matty. This system of treatment depends mainly upon the principle that vitiate condition of the blood and lymph are the first generating cause of abnormal changes and their morbid effects which give rise to disease. So whatever the disease arrive in the organ first reaches to the blood, first reaches to the lymph, so then afterwards it reaches to the organ. So it heals the, so our treatment mainly depends upon the vitiated conditions. Whatever the vitiated conditions of blood and lymph, we have to change into normal condition. Okay, the human organism is entirely composed of two elementary fluid. We know that blood and lymph. If blood and lymph remain in purified condition or pure form, then there are no chances of any disease. So you know them. Okay, health and disease depend upon the state of these fluids. So purely human our body health is depend upon these two fluids. What are those two fluids? Blood and lymph. It is the blood which contains the material for every tissue of the body. So why the blood is very important thing, very important vital fluid, because the every tissue needs oxygen, nutrition, supplement, and other things which taken from the blood for the survival of the tissue. Okay, so that is the reason the vital fluid is blood, and it supplied nutrient to every organ. What I explained, enable to it perform its function. It is indeed a microsome able to supply every possible want to animal economy. Thus, blood is called eternal and rudimental addition of the system. Okay, so blood and lymph are the two life fluids which on their way up down through the system live everywhere. New elements necessary for nutrition and vitality. While the waste matter and unnecessary products go out of the system by the natural process of secretion and excretion. So after the taking of nutritions, oxygens and other substances, cell releases some uh, unnecessary products from itself. Okay, what the blood does, the blood mainly excrete these substances from the body through the process of secretion and excretion through the skin in the form of sweat. Okay, our skin glands remove the waste materials from the skin pores. Okay, and eruption through the kidneys in the form of urine. Okay, it is also taken from the blood. The purify the kidney will filter the blood, and it will release the mm, um, unnecessary substance from the body. Okay, blood, sorry, main from the blood, and through the rectum. It is the only process where the blood is not reached. Okay, through the rectum in the form of stool. According to, we see that the human body is kept up by the continued process of decomposition and recomposition. So whatever we will intake, after the intake we have to replace by those things from the other things. Okay, one nutrition is reached to the cell utilized it, and it will make waste substance. The waste substance is excreted from the body. So this is called decomposition and recomposition. Our body do decomposition as well as recomposition. So this is the normal process. It is the normal physiological process. So the mostly the health depend upon the decomposition and recomposition. This condition is purely depend upon blood and lymph. So if the waste project, abnormal product, or any product which will not useful for the body, if it present in the body, it will cause disease. So we have the equilibrium between waste and supply and disease. So if this disturbance between waste and supply, the disturbance of equilibrium is called disease. How can we define the disease? If the supply means is the uh, disturbance in the equilibrium of decomposition and recomposition, we can define as disease. So if the equilibrium between decomposition and recomposition, we defined as health. So this is the basic simple formula for health and disease. So what is the main thing which will involve uh, taking presentation, or it is the first action, that is blood. It is either drug first reach into the blood, it is either food, after the digestion it will reach into the blood, it is either if bacteria, it will reach into the blood. So everything, disease, drugs, whatever may be, they will takes place in the living fluid, that is first meeting, first impression, first action, first change from health, first morbid phenomenon, the link which connects the existing cause with all the successive phenomena of an disease. Whatever, this is the important starting point of the electrohomeopathy principle. So the main component which will react, which will connect to each other, that is the blood. Okay, so we have to remember this. So in this complete video, we will able to know that the how who discovered the electrohomeopathy, what are the defects present in the homeopathy which are absorbed by Dr. Consider Matty. Okay, the third thing is our body is composed of vital fluids, that is called blood and lymph. So mainly health depend upon those two conditions, as well as decomposition and recomposition is the most important subject in our body. Okay, so we have to remember this. So what are the composition of the blood and lymph? Let's see in this photo. So blood, you have plasma, blood cells, 45% blood cells, and plasma 55%, 55, 92% water, 8% substance. Here we have the normal blood is taken into the cylindrical tube, centrifuged, then the RBC all settle down, WBC and platelets are here. This is plasma. So we are taking the plasma have these substance, and the other WBC, RBC are these substance. Okay, red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, lymphocytes, phagocytes. White blood cells for diffuse, red blood cells for oxygen, platelets for clotting. Okay, so here we have the lymph. It is a fluid. It have the white blood cells. It has lymphocytes, lymph nodes, lymphatic organs like spleen, thymus. Okay, so every part of the body have lymph nodes which have T cells and B cells which will protect the harmful substances from the harmful substance to the organ or the body. Okay, so that's the reason this is the most important fluids, vital fluids of the body, maybe blood or lymph. Okay friends, so this is the introduction parts. Tomorrow onwards we will talk other topics. Thank you.